Humanity is on the cusp of a colossal shift in understanding, one that will completely rewrite our relationship with reality itself. I'm Leanne Rose, psychotherapist, advisor to some of the world's most influential leaders, and the channel for a structural intelligence known as the Leanne Collective. On this podcast, we explore what becomes possible when consciousness is understood not as a byproduct of the brain, but as the fundamental substance of the universe itself, capable of completely reshaping the material world we live in. Welcome to Consciousness First. Hello, my loves. Welcome to the second episode of Consciousness First. Today is going to be led by the Leanne Collective. You can find out more about them on our trailer. But today we're going to be getting into why manifestation has changed dramatically over the past few years. You might have found that some of the older techniques that you used to work with, like visualization, law of attraction, those things are totally outdated now. They will not be working for you. And it's not because you're getting it wrong. It's not because you're out of alignment. It's not because you've got a money wound. It's not because you've got any kind of wound. It's because you're being introduced to something that's so much bigger, so much better, and so much more fun. In our little corner of the universe, we tend not to actually use the term manifestation anymore. We talk about reality creation. It's a completely different vibe, a completely different feel, so much more fun, because we are literally embodying the truth that the universe, the entire universe, is our playground. So I'm going to let the Leanne Collective talk about this, talk about what you might have been experiencing, and they might even give you a couple of anchor points, a couple of energetic pieces to practice so that you can really step into relating to manifestation from this new consciousness first approach. So I'll see you on the other side. Hello, dear souls. So, manifestation. That buzzword. We do love to utilize this word at source level. But you can think of manifestation as very much like the carrot on the stick. Human beings love to control reality from the set point of survival. And this is where manifestation, law of attraction, the secret became popular. This idea that if you control your thoughts, you can control your reality. This was the fundamental bridge point for human beings to become aware of the fact that they were interconnected with something so much bigger than matter itself. But these concepts were still somewhat linked and related to this dependency on the external world. These concepts still very much built upon the idea that how you feel is dependent upon what your external reality looks like. We're giving you the fundamental tools, such as redirect your thoughts, focus on certain emotions like gratitude. But they were not actually giving you the bigger picture that allows you to create at source level. In these teachings, we call these fifth dimensional old paradigm teachings, law of attraction, visualization, even future-based self-concept and identity work. This idea of calling in the future that you want. These are all externally focused. Now, what we want you to begin to recognize, dear souls, up to this point in human history, for the entire time that human beings have been playing with the concept of manifestation, the concept that you are the creator of your reality and you get to decide what reality you choose to play in. Desire has been at the heart of the manifestation process. What is it that you want? Document this. Find all kinds of modalities to bring it into being. This idea that you are attracting your future timeline into your reality. It is all illusion, dear ones. Because reality itself is illusion. Now that is not a bad thing. When you know that it is illusion and it is a game that you are playing. When you have not yet woken up to the truth that you are the master coder of the entire game and that every single piece is a sacred part of the creation process, it can become incredibly frustrating. And this is when we hear individuals saying, manifestation is not working, or the universe wants something different for me, so I have to give up the thing that I think that I want. Or maybe manifestation has slowed down entirely. This is not because manifestation has stopped working. It is because you are being initiated into a wider understanding of what manifestation actually is. Manifestation is the ability to leverage consciousness, to focus and harness consciousness into the lived experience you desire to experience. But if you are not operating at the fundamental concept of consciousness first, if you are not actually recognizing that your external reality technically does not exist, the only thing in existence is consciousness, you are consciousness. Consciousness is all that is. You are every living frequency in existence, and you have the ability to focus upon any living frequency in existence. And it is through your focused lens of that particular frequency that you are choosing to be focused in that reality comes into existence. The old paradigm of manifestation comes at the creation process backwards. You exist within a reality that you do not want to be in. And you say to yourself, the thing I want exists outside of the now moment, and so I'm going to bring it into being. So you say what it is that I want. This is the thing that I would like in the external world. Some of you have been able to recognize that it is your identity and self-concept that must shift in order to meet this, but you do not quite go all the way you need to go. Instead, you decide to isolate the thing you think you want and build out the identity you think you will be focused in if that thing were in your reality. But here is the thing you are missing. What you have placed at the heart of this entire manifestation process, this new energetic architecture that you are building out, is still the idea that what you want is not here yet. So even though you are building out this idea that you are moving closer to it, there is some relief in the system. You begin to see some evidence of what you want beginning to show up. It never actually drops all the way in. Because what was coded into the manifestation process right from the get-go is that what I want is not here. Because you are not coding at source level. You are not building at master coder level. You are still building from the idea that what you want is missing. You are still building from a dependency on the external world to fulfill you, when in actual fact, the external world is illusion, for the only substance in the universe is consciousness itself. When you reconnect to this truth, this fundamental truth, everything else makes sense. And we are not saying give up your human desires at all. The point of this game that we are playing is to have human desires and to bring them forth into existence in a way that is satisfying, enlivening, enriching, playful, wondrously magical. But in order to actually bring these desires into existence. We have to move beyond the illusion that what you desire is not already well within your grasp in this very now moment. What we teach in our paid programs, transmissions, is the exact frameworks that actually show you how to code these pieces in block by block, brick by brick, piece by piece, cell by cell. But these structures we could give for you right now will mean nothing until you actually get on board with the idea that you truly are consciousness itself. For you could repeat the same actions that will make somebody else a millionaire because they are moving from consciousness first and they understand how to create at this level. You could repeat the exact same actions and watch your life crumble in response, because it is not the action that matters, it is the intentionality behind them and the energetic frequency, the set point that action originated from. Energy is what ripples out into reality, dear ones. Most of you have still been operating from the idea that you are separate from source, that you are separate from life itself, and you are trying to come at reality creation from fixing the reality that you have created, but you are inadvertently simply recreating the lack of what you want over and over and over and over by chasing what you want in the external world. You are reinforcing illusion over and over and over and over again. Stop, pause, take a moment. Ask yourself, what is it that I truly want? But go further. Because what it is you truly want is never an external thing, dear ones. You say you want the car. You do not want the car. You want this felt sense of accomplishment and pride and to be recognized in your achievements. You want to feel as if you are doing well in the world. You want to feel the wind in your hair and the freedom of having your own agency. You want to feel the eyes of people upon you recognizing how far you have come. What this ultimately means is that you want to recognize how far you have come. That frequency is available right now. All you simply have to do is choose it, focus on it, and amplify it. This is what will then bring not just the car, but infinitely new angles and ways to experience this powerful reconnection to self from entirely new angles. You do not actually desire the money. You desire the freedom to choose what it is you would like to experience moment to moment. You get to do that now by shaping your inner world. You want the ability to feel abundant. You want the ability to feel held. You want the ability to feel as if you have the agency to move the way you want to move. There are infinite ways that you can experience this frequency right now without the need for the money. And it is not about saying, do not go for the money. It is the truth that once you recognize this frequency is available to you, internal reality creates external world, and the external world must move to match you. But if you are trying to strategize a way to build in the money from logic, from intellect, from this idea of I can fix and change the world as it is from my intellect, from my mind, you simply code out another experience of this now moment not being enough. When we move from consciousness first, this is the fundamental aspect that changes. We allow this now moment to not only be enough, but to recognize that there is an entire universe within us an entire field of materials that we get to play with at the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual level. We talk about your spiritual body as your external world, for all is one. And if all is source, then every aspect of the external world is a living, breathing cell, a living, breathing aspect of the one source. It is all consciousness. And so when we talk about your spiritual body, we are talking about your external world. There are so many materials for us to play with, dear ones. Frequency architecture is the future of manifestation. Our external desires here are simply inspiration for the wonderful new energetic architectural structures that we are strategically building out moment to moment, locking in and remembering. Consciousness is the only substance in the universe, and when I shift my own consciousness, when I learn to leverage it and harness it with skill and expertise and refinement, I awaken the ability to create reality at source level with laser focused precision and at lightning speed. Allow yourself to chew on these pieces for a moment. Let your own heart, your own soul awaken you to the truth that you are exactly where you need to be. You have not gotten anything wrong. You are simply beating on an old drum, and it is time to think so much bigger. Sending you oodles of love. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye. All right, my loves. So I hope that has shed some light for those of you that have been feeling a little bit sticky around manifestation and feeling like you might be the problem. And you kind of are, kind of not. It's not that you're doing it wrong. It's that you're being invited into so much more. So give yourself a moment to really think about, am I doing manifestation from a place that says my inner world is what creates my external world? Am I infusing intentions with my process that actually align with that truth? Or am I getting hung up on what's not here and just rehashing and reanimating that energy over and over and over again and tying ourselves in knots, wondering why it hasn't dropped? Stop focusing on what is going on out there and start focusing on what is happening in here. You have the ability to create whatever frequency, whatever felt sensation, whatever feeling state you desire to feel right here, right now. When you master that, everything else will fall into place because internal reality creates external world. So, in our next episode, I'm going to be leading the show a little bit more. I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of the crazy results that coming at life from this perspective has created within my clients' lives and within my life. So let's get into it. I will see you in the next one. Sending you oodles of love from me and the GC. Bye. Thanks for listening, my loves. Since we're newly launched and we want to get this out to as many people as possible, we've got a super juicy invitation for those of you willing to share this podcast with your community. If you share us on social stories, tag us, and leave a review, you'll be entered into a prize draw to win an exclusive 3-month immersive one-to-one experience with myself and the GC to crack you into this new dimension of awareness. For the lucky winner, we'll be breaking down our super conscious manifestation methodology so you can start implementing this in your life and start manifesting at this level. But every share counts, my loves. And to say a massive thank you to everyone contributing to getting this information as far and wide as possible. If we make it into the top 100, we'll be giving everyone that's shared us and left a review one of our most powerful transmissions. This is one of our clients' all-time favorites, and it's been responsible for some of our biggest breakthroughs and client results. You can find out more about the competition and other ways to work with us in the show notes below. We'll see you in the next one.